Okay, so picture this. You're about to buy something really cool.
Like what?
Oh, I don't know, maybe a new phone
Okay, yeah.
or tickets to a concert you've been dying to see.
Yeah.
And you pull out your credit card,
Yeah.
with a flourish and a little swipe sound.
Yeah.
But have you ever actually stopped to think, what happens after that swipe?
It does kind of feel like magic.
Right. The money just disappears.
But there's a whole lot going on behind the scenes.
Exactly. And, you guys have been sending us tons of questions about credit cards.
Yeah?
Looks like everyone's trying to figure out this whole credit score thing, especially that best time to make payments mystery.
Ooh, it's gonna be good.
But before we get to that juicy payment timing hack everyone's talking about,
Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff.
let's start with the basics, like credit score 101.
Back to the fundamentals.
What even goes into this mysterious number that seems to have so much power?
Right, like it controls everything.
Actually breaks it down into 5 key components.
Okay, let's hear it.
So the first one, and apparently the most important, is your payment history.
That makes sense.
Like whether you're paying your bills on time, consistently.
The foundation, yeah.
And that makes up a whopping 35% of your score.
Wow, 35%.
That's what he says.
All right, so what's next?
Okay, so the second most important factor is credit utilization,
Utilization. Okay.
which accounts for 30% of your score.
Still a big chunk.
And basically, that's just how much of your available credit you're actually using.
So, like, if I have a $10,000 limit
Yeah.
and I've charged $5,000.
Then your credit utilization would be 50%.
Oh, I see.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you generally want to keep that number as low as possible.
The lower, the better.
Pretty much, yeah.
Interesting.
Because lenders see a lower utilization as a sign that you're managing your credit responsibly.
Makes sense. Like, you're not maxing out all your cards.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about the length of your credit history?
So the average length of your credit history makes up 15% of your score.
Okay, 15%.
And it's basically a measure of how long you've been using credit responsibly.
So the longer you've had credit, the better?
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Huh. So those old credit cards I have stashed away could actually be helping my score.
That's right.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
It's usually a good idea to keep those older accounts open.
Even if I'm not using them.
Yeah, even if you don't use them much.
Interesting.
Because they contribute to the length of your credit history.
Makes sense.
And if you close them, it could actually shorten your average length of credit and potentially lower your score.
So better to just leave them be.
Pretty much.
Got it. So what are the last 2 pieces of this credit score puzzle?
Okay, so the remaining 20% of your score is determined by 2 things.
Okay.
Your credit mix,
Okay, credit mix? Like, what's that?
which refers to the different types of credit you have, like credit cards, installment loans,
Right.
or even mortgages.
Okay, so having a variety of credit types is good.
Yeah, it shows lenders that you can handle different types of debt responsibly.
Makes sense. Like, you're not just relying on one type of credit.
Exactly. And then the second thing that makes up that 20%
Yeah.
are new credit inquiries.
Oh, like when you apply for a new credit card.
That's it. And too many inquiries in a short period can actually hurt your score
Right.
because it signals to lenders that you might be taking on too much debt.
That makes sense.
So there you have it, the 5 main ingredients of a credit score.
All right, so we've got the basics down.
Now, what about this FICO score range everyone keeps talking about?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Can you break that down for us?
Okay, so FICO scores range from 300 to 850.
A pretty wide range.
Yeah, and generally, higher scores are considered better.
So like if you're in the 800s, you're a credit superstar.
Pretty much. You'll usually qualify for the best interest rates and loan terms.
Nice.
But if your score is below 670,
Oh,
that's generally considered subprime.
not so good.
And you might have a harder time getting approved for loans, or you might face higher interest rates.
That makes the importance of a good credit score super clear.
For sure.
Now, for the part I know everyone's been waiting for,
Yeah, hit me with it.
the timing hack for boosting your score.
Okay, let's dive in.
So one of the articles we found,
Yeah.
it really dives into this whole when you pay your credit card bill thing.
Timing is everything.
And it ties back to what we were talking about with credit utilization.
Oh, right, that snapshot of your balance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even if you pay your bill in full every month,
Mm-hmm.
the timing of that payment actually still matters.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, it all boils down to your statement close date.
Statement close date.
That's the day your credit card issuer calculates your balance
Okay,
and reports it to the credit bureaus.
got it.
And that reported balance is what actually determines your credit utilization for that billing cycle.
So it's not the due date that matters?
Nope, it's all about the statement close date.
Huh, the more you know.
Right. So let's say your statement closes on the 15th of the month.
Okay.
And your due date is the 1st of the following month.
Right.
Even if you make a huge purchase on the 16th and pay it off in full by the due date,
Okay.
that large balance is still going to be reported to the credit bureaus.
Oh, so even though I paid it off on time,
Yeah,
my score could still be affected.
exactly, because it could inflate your credit utilization.
That's tricky.
So the trick is to actually pay down your balance before the statement closes.
So like a week before?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
That way, the balance reported to the credit bureaus is lower.
I see. So it's all about making sure that reported balance is as low as possible,
Exactly. And that can have a positive impact on your credit utilization ratio.
which then boosts your score.
That's right. It's such a subtle detail.
That's so important.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never realized the timing of my payment could make such a difference.
It's one of those things that most people don't even think about.
Now, before we move on, it's super important to remember.
Yeah.
This isn't about trying to game the system
Right.
or hide any debt you have.
Of course not.
It's about understanding how the system works.
And using that knowledge responsibly.
Exactly. It's about being a savvy consumer and making informed decisions about your credit. This is making me feel way more confident about managing my finances.
That's what we like to hear.
I'm starting to see credit in a whole new light
It's all about taking control, making informed decisions.
and aligning everything with your financial goals.
Absolutely. Now let's shift gears for a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about a common misconception about credit.
A myth. I love debunking myths.
It's a big one.
Lay it on me.
A lot of people think checking your credit score will hurt your credit,
Oh, yeah, for
but
that.
it's totally not true.
Really? So I can check my score as often as I want,
Absolutely.
and it won't have any negative consequences.
None whatsoever.
So keeping tabs on my credit score is actually a good thing.
It's essential.
Uh,
It's like checking your financial health, tracking your progress.
Makes sense.
You can catch any errors early on.
Or potential problems before they snowball.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your finances.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm going to start checking my credit report way more regularly.
It's good to hear it.
This deep dive has been amazing. It's been a wild ride.
But a valuable one, hopefully.
Definitely. I feel so much more knowledgeable and empowered.
That's the goal.
Now I feel like I can make informed decisions about my credit.
That's what we like to hear.
And remember, everyone, knowledge is power.
It really is.
And with the right tools and a positive mindset,
You can achieve your financial goals.
master the world of credit.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.